everyone, and welcome to episode number 33 of the Nordic Leblock podcast. It is Sunday, December 22nd, 2024. It is the holiday season, or, well, it's been the holiday season, but we're getting really close to the holiday season. I'm Nordic, joined with Leblock. How are you doing, Leblock?
It's good. It is the eve of the eve of the eve of Christmas.
It is the eve of the eve of Christmas. I agree.
Yeah,
All right. We have a bunch to talk about here. Honestly, a lot of trades. First off, I want to say the holiday roster freeze is fully underway, and that means that there can be no trades, there can be no waivers, there can be no roster changes of any kind. The rosters will stay as is for the entire break, which goes from Friday, December 20th to Friday, December 27th, and which is why we saw a bunch of trades happen between then and now. And by a bunch of trades, I mean exactly 3. We're going to start off with the Kaapo Kakko trade, which sent Kaapo Kakko to the Seattle Kraken. In exchange, the New York Rangers acquired defenseman Will Borgen, a 2025 third-round pick, and a 2025 sixth-round pick. So this is a second overall pick who did not work out that well with the Rangers and is getting a brand new change of scenery with the Seattle Kraken. The Rangers get kind of a third pairing defenseman at best and some picks. I don't know. It's kind of a meh return, to be honest with you.
For a second overall pick, former second overall pick now, the return is underwhelming. If Kaapo Kakko was drafted like in the second or third round, you'd probably say it's a pretty decent return.
Yeah.
And like, you look at how it happened. Kakko, the day before the trade happened, he called out management for, you're going to sit me because I'm the young guy rather than sit a vet. And the reaction to this trade on social media was very mixed reviews. Some people said Rangers fans specifically, a lot of Rangers fans said, good riddance, he's gone. Other Rangers fans saying, how could you trade this guy?
Yeah, I mean, there's two sides to the coin in my eyes. I think Kakko definitely needed to change the scenery, especially with those comments that we saw the day before he was dealt. It became pretty clear his time wasn't there. But again, like, you could argue that he never got time to develop in New York. Never had time. I don't know if you agree with that necessarily, but I feel like...
I kind of do agree with that in a sense. Just like, I feel like Kakko was the scapegoat for everything in New York.
Yeah.
At least, especially the past 2 seasons, where the Rangers, got to the Eastern Conference Finals twice. Against Tampa, he was the scapegoat for that series.
You look at every single time on ice on average throughout his entire career, he did get some seasons where he got played a bunch, and it was effective. In 22-23, he played about an average of 15 minutes and 18 seconds, which is his second highest, and he had 40 points in those 82 games. So with that amount of ice time, he finally showed that he could have been like maybe a 40-point go-getter, which it seems like his ceiling right now. But if you keep giving them that ice time, maybe he would grow on and improve from that. The following season did play only 61 games, but had 19 points, averaging 13 minutes of ice time. And then so far this year with the Rangers, he was averaging the same amount of ice time. And honestly, didn't put up that terrible of stats. Had 14 points in 30 games played, but again, not good enough from a second overall pick. So I feel like he never really got the ice time to really develop with the New York Rangers that he should have.
I agree with that. I also think that the Rangers didn't do a traditional rebuild. The Rangers did a rebuild where, like, hey, we're gonna pick a bunch of guys, then we're gonna sign a bunch of vets. We're gonna sign a bunch of vets and big time players to come in and lead the charge. And I really do think that really hindered Kakko's development. Like you said, his ceiling right now is probably a 40-point go-getter. We could be talking right now about the New York Rangers and Kakko being a 70-point guy right now.
Yeah.
And I want to say for Kako, his defensive numbers are ridiculous. He's a very good defensive forward in the NHL. His that analytics are off the charts. I really do think off ice analytics great. I really do think the Rangers kind of just fumbled the bag on his development, and this was probably you could tell Kako was frustrated, and I think it was just a good thing for both parties to split.
No, I agree. It was a good idea for them to both split up, and I also agree with you because the year he was drafted in 2019, that same year in free agency, they got Artemi Panarin, and things changed completely. It still makes me kind of wonder, like, what if Panarin never went to the Rangers and they really continued on in that rebuild? Like, I honestly think that we could be talking about a completely different Rangers team right now that has like a bright future for years to come. Like, they could be like and you might hate me saying this, but they could be like the Ottawa Senators right now and be in the spot that they're in possibly. And we could be saying, "Oh, their future is so mighty bright," and they could honestly be a part of those like four teams that we throw in there as like the brightest futures in the East. But instead, they're one of those teams where like they have like 2 more years, not even 2 more years of like being a contender.
Yeah, like you look at the Rangers, like their core is old. I think we talked about the Rangers so much the past couple weeks on this pod.
Yeah.
Like you see the Rangers, it looks like a sinking ship. But for Kako, this is a great opportunity for him to show everybody that he was worth the second overall pick. Go to Seattle, get a better opportunity, get more ice time.
Yeah, the Kraken don't have a lot of players like him either. Again, his defensive metrics are really good, and the Kraken have really struggled defensively. What's ironic though is that ever since Kako's come there, they're actually like 0-3. So maybe don't feed into that too much. The Kraken aren't that great of a team. I do want to talk about them a little bit later, but yeah, they're trending down right now if we were to do that. But yeah, overall, I think that the Kraken definitely win this deal at least as of right now. But we'll see how the deal transpires in the long term. The next trade that I wanted to talk about was a 1-for-1 deal with the Nashville Predators and the Montreal Canadiens, where the Nashville Predators acquired defenseman Justin Barron and the Montreal Canadiens acquired defenseman Alex Carrier. LeBlanc, this is not a big trade, but what were your thoughts on this one?
I thought Montreal hit a home run. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really do think Carrier was a guy I thought Ottawa should have went out free agency last offseason. Just a good bottom sixer, good grit, good defensive numbers. Can provide you the offense when he needs to. And
Yeah,
you look
I agree with
you
that.
yeah, and you look at Barron. Barron, he's a younger kid. Was like a third pairing guy in Montreal, like in and out of the lineup. I think Nashville will do good. I think him going to Nashville will be good for him, but I don't really think he was worth. I think Carrier has way more value than Justin Barron. So I kind of think Montreal really wins this trade.
From what I can read from it, it seemed like Montreal didn't really trust Barron. And Barron, ironically enough, I watched his last game in Montreal. He definitely looked like he played on the second pairing. Didn't look like again Montreal could really trust him. Montreal's bringing in somebody who they can trust in Carrier, who has great defensive metrics. Isn't maybe as offensive as Barron could possibly be, but I think they would rather someone like him back there. And who knows, maybe they could flip him for assets at the trade deadline. Like he's somebody that you could do that for sure. He only carries like a $3 million deal. As for Montreal, I think Barron brings like a kind of again he's young, and I think that for Nashville, they are known for developing really good defensemen and being like a defensive powerhouse. Maybe they can turn Barron's career around and kind of make him a better player. But yeah, it seems like right now Montreal wins this deal for sure.
I do want to make a correction. I was thinking of William Carrier. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I
Alex
was I was thinking of
out.
William Carrier. Sorry, Alex Carrier, right shot defenseman. Like good defensively, good defensive numbers. It's gonna get you still will provide offense when need be. But like I think Montreal really needs like solid guys who are good at defense, and that's what Carrier is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I think that, Montreal wins this deal. Right now. We'll see how it works out in the long term, though. The last trade is the most minor of them all. Defenseman Pierre Oliver Joseph was traded to the Anaheim Ducks. What am I saying? The Anaheim Ducks, the Pittsburgh Penguins, in exchange for nothing. Future considerations going back to the St. Louis Blues. This is pretty clear that honestly, uh, St. Louis, they get Cam Fowler. They have too many bodies on their blue line now, and they had to flip out one of them, and Joseph was just the odd man out. Kind of what
The,
it's.
the Joseph brothers playing together. The dream is dead.
Yeah. Did you
That,
see the post on Instagram, The Last Supper? That's
yeah,
kind of sad. I
yeah.
heard they were like doing like Winter Classic photo shoots together because they were going to play in the Winter
Oh
Classic together.
yeah. That
Yeah.
like I get like it sucks, but it's also a business at the same time where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like sentimentally it sucks, but it is what it is. But Vio goes back to the Penguins where he's very familiar with that staff. So I think he just goes back to being, the in and out of the lineup, 7th, 6D.
Yeah, it's kind of what he's really known for, to be honest. Has never played a full season. Even last year in Pittsburgh, only played 52 games. I think he dealt with injury though. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see where how he does with the Penguins, and maybe he's a fit, but I don't know. They seem to be rolling right now, to be honest with you. But yeah, those are the three trades that have happened. Couple signings and waiver terminations that I do want to go over as well. Keegan Colasar, I think, signed a 3-year, $2.5 million extension with the Vegas Golden Knights. We never actually talked about that in the last
I
podcast, but
thought,
I'll
thought,
bring it.
thought, thought we did. I thought we went over that.
We might have talked about that again. I'm sorry. I'm kind of, but yeah, Colasar, good fourth line guy. Braden Packel, this is the one that I meant to talk about. He has signed a 2-year, $1.87 million extension with the Calgary Flames. Good seventh defender, more or less. Nothing much else there. I don't know if he's actually played in the NHL this season. Let me take a look at this.
Pascal?
Pascal, yeah. He has played, 34 games in the
Yeah.
NHL this year, has 42 penalty minutes. So, yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty.
definitely somebody who,
Yeah,
third pairing.
pretty sure he played against Ottawa. So yeah, he's definitely played in the NHL this year.
He also, technically, because he played one game with Vegas in their cup run, he's a Stanley Cup champion.
That's crazy to me. That's
That
crazy
is
to me.
kind of that is kind of crazy. And then the other one that I wanted to talk about, I don't know why I brought up Colasar, but Kevin He signed a 3-year entry-level contract. He is the first Chinese-born player to sign an NHL contract. He's killing it with the Niagara Ice Dogs right now. I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, he's I got to see him play this year live. He's what a steal from Winnipeg.
Yeah, he's an absolute star. The Boston Bruins placed Tyler Johnson on unconditional waivers for a contract termination. It became pretty clear that when Johnson was there, it just wasn't going to work out. I mean, he was signed on a PTO, did good in the AHL, and I guess that he didn't really find a spot in the lineup after that. He only played 9 games. His last game with the Bruins was December 12th. So again, he found himself really out of the lineup. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, but just sucks it couldn't work out. He was more or less the 13th forward.
Yeah, it is what it is. You get a
Um,
young guy up there instead. I feel like it's good for the organization.
yeah. Anthony Stolars is out 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury, per Brad Treliving. Unfortunate news there. Stolars has been really good for the Maple Leafs this season. Sucks to lose him, but I think they'll be okay. They have some good defensive options or goalie options there, and in Wall and Matt Murray, who actually came back this past week and won a game. It was against Buffalo, but he did win it. So
Yeah, we know if Stolar's out, your other podcast host Jack is in shambles. Uh,
yeah, when we told him that he was pretty heartbroken.
yeah, Stolar's has been one of the best goalies this year. I'm not afraid to say that on this pod. But Wall has been good. Wall's been good. But here's the thing: Wall is also injury prone, and that's where you get a little you get a little not worried, but it's like the law where it's like what can go wrong will go wrong.
Yes, I agree with that. I think they're definitely thinking about that, which is why they're not playing him like every game. They're bringing up like Matt Murray and having him play a little bit, and they even brought up Dennis Hildeby who they drafted in 2020, and he's played a couple games as well for the team.
Yeah, Hillary's been when called upon, he's been decent for the Leafs.
Yeah, I think you're asking a lot from a young kid though, like him. So I think he's been good for what you're asking from him.
Matt Murray, G1.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah,
That was his first game since 2023. Pretty
yeah.
wild. JJ Moser is out 8 to 10 weeks with a lower body injury, a blow there to the Lightning's blue line. You know that Nazem Kadri goal where he basically jumped over a Lightning player? That was Moser, and that was the injury that came from it. So very unfortunate there for someone like him. Good third pairing defender he was in Tampa Bay. So, okay. Two more things, and it's arguably the two biggest things that are going on right now. The first one is about Matt Rempe, who has been suspended for 8 games due to a boarding/elbowing play on Dallas Stars defenseman Miro Heiskanen. Before I give my thoughts, because everybody knows my thoughts at this point, LeBlanc, what do you think about this suspension?
I have a stat here.
Oh.
I have to pull it up real quick. Just give me 2 seconds.
So I am going to say this. It is the longest suspension on this podcast history, which isn't very hard. This podcast has only been around for a year. But it is the longest suspension since Tom Wilson's 20-game suspension in 2018-2019. So, yeah, it is a pretty hefty suspension. LeBlanc, you have the stat?
I am finding it right now. Just give me. It was something about Rempe's ice time, and
Oh, Rempe's ice time? I can do that
yeah.
for you.
It was like Rempe. It was like Rempe has played what? Like, how many career games has he played? Sorry, I think
22.
So he has 22 career games played. He's never averaged more than 12 minutes a night in those games. He has a career now of 12 games suspended.
That's actually insane.
Like,
Yeah, I'm looking through all of his things here. He's only had literally only one instance in his entire career where he's played more than 10 minutes.
yeah.
That's
So,
insane.
like,
Oh my God.
I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this. I think, like, I know you made a video, and I saw your reaction, your video. You made a video saying how Rempe back then was good for the league, and how it was before he was making those dirty hits, before he was being just an absolute just goon and a scumbag.
Yeah.
I did like the Miro hit, like that's not hockey. That's not hockey.
No.
He goes for the head, he leaves his feet, he jumps just to get head contact, and like I get making a hit. That if it's making a hit, there's an intent to injure. This is an intent to injure, and Rempe, like he knows what he's doing.
There are better ways to hit Heiskanen on that play. You don't need to put your arm directly into his head. Like you don't need to do that. And I have seen so many Rangers fans, not
Oh
just
yeah,
Rangers fans, but so many people. Either it's like the thing with that the one criminal who is in jail right now for shooting that CEO or whatever. And they're either saying, "Oh my God, he's so hot." I'm like, "Oh my God, shut up." And I'm talking about Rempe, not the
yeah. But yeah, it's the same goer. Like, oh my god, like Rempe, like it's such a travesty.
Oh, it's fine because he's hot. And then the other thing is too is that he's so tall. How are you? How are you? Yeah, you can't blame a kid for him being so tall. There are literally dozens of other players who are taller than Matt Rempe who have played
Chara.
hundreds of more games, even thousands of more games than Rempe has, and they never had this issue. And Chara is the biggest example of that. Like, yes, Chara had his controversies, like the Pacioretty
Pacioretty. Yeah.
ago. But apart from that, like that's really it. Like Chara, yes, he had his moments, but he was never like a controversial player like Rempe is at his height. And Rempe has like 3 of those Pacioretty hits at this point in
Yeah.
his career.
Like you look at a guy like Lawson Krause, he's 6'8". Like
Yeah,
I've
incredible.
never heard anything about Lawson Krause being a dirty player. Ever.
No, Kraus. No, I as a Coyotes fan and watching Utah all these years, seeing Kraus develop, he's never had that issue.
Mhm.
Never. He's never had that problem
The,
with hitting
that
whatsoever.
that's like the one example that I could give because I remember going to Sens Coyotes game back in the day, and I remember like who is that giant on the ice? Like it was and it was Kraus. I never realized he was 6'8". Another example I will give, probably not the best example, but Vincent Desharnais of the Vancouver Canucks. He can be dirty, but he's not going out there intentionally injuring people.
Yeah, again, this is completely justifiable. LeBlanc, would you argue more games, or do you think this is the right amount?
Well, here's my take. He's a repeat offender. He's played what was it 22 games?
Yes,
He only has 10 more games played than games he has suspended.
that's pretty wild. And
I
he's already been suspended, what, 3 times? This is
yes.
his second.
This
This
is,
might be his second time. Yeah,
this is his third time actually.
that's insane. Where do you go to look that up?
I have no I just really think that I think the NHL they could have went 10 games, but I think 8 games I like it. I think it's justifiable. It sends a message to repeat offenders.
Yeah,
Um like and I just like people who are defending Red, like, "Oh, he's so tall. How can you avoid him?" His back is literally turned to the play and he jumped on him.
yeah. As well as this too, Rempe is considered a repeat offender, as we said, under the terms of the collective bargaining agreement. He will actually forfeit 80,000 of his salary, and the money will go to the Players Emergency Assistance Fund. Give me a second here. I'm pretty sure Rempe makes 820K. He literally just lost, like, I think
That's 10%.
5% of his
That
paycheck.
yeah, that's like 5% of his salary. Yeah.
Yeah, kind
Like
of
it
crazy.
and like I'm glad the money at least goes to something good for the players.
Yes, I agree with that as well. But yeah, overall, just Rempe, very dirty player. We do not condone anything that he does ever. I'm sure
Yeah.
this will be the last time we talk about him, but yeah,
But
very dirty.
I want to say the Rangers only bring him up when they need grit. Like the Rangers
Yeah,
don't like Rebbe's not a regular. He gets called up with like, you know what? We need to make a statement.
he gets caught up to hit
It's
people.
like
Like, that's what it is.
Rebbe, kill him. Like that's literally what he gets called up for.
Well, I feel like sometimes, like, the Rangers will get pushed around a lot in games,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be like, this is not okay. And their solution to that is instead of going out and getting, like, a player who will fight for you, you get a completely dirty player in Matt Rempe who loses every fight. So yeah, I don't really understand, but yeah, Rempe out 8 games. I'm sure this will be the last time we talk about
Who
them.
would you say is more of a dirty player, Matt Rempe or Arbor Jackeye?
I would probably go Rempe.
Yeah, I would go Rempe too.
That
Um,
guy, at least, at least he's playing regularly in the NHL, even
yeah,
though we may agree with that. Rempe's not.
yeah.
So
I would also say this. Jackeye at least tries to make hockey plays. He's not going out there just intentionally like just going after headshots. Like he's a player who plays hockey but also has it as the edge. Like you always talk about playing with that edge to them. A lot of players have the edge they play with. And I feel
yeah,
like Rempe's edge is like the biggest edge I've ever seen in my life.
that'll get taken out of context.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move into the last thing here before we get into the other things we need to talk about today. This has been something that has been making the media headlines literally all week. The Elias Pettersson versus JT Miller situation. There's numerous interviews, there's numerous comments from both players. The Canucks this past week just went 1-1-2, losing games to Ottawa, Vancouver, and I forget the other team they lost to. I can't.
But how do they play Vancouver if they're on
Or they
Vancouver?
lost to
Utah
Ottawa. Vegas is what I meant to say, not Vancouver.
and Utah.
And Utah. Yeah, they blew that lead to Utah. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, by the way, on like a 9 game point. Anyways. So, yeah, basically what's going on between them and Miller, we don't really know, essentially. But what we know is that they don't like each other. There's some beef there, and it's made a lot of headlines this past
Yeah,
week.
I got a few things to say about this. First of all, I want to say that teammates around the Canucks and even Rick Tocchet kind of alluded to like he's saying like yes, this is going on, and both players like no, we're fine. There's nothing going on, which is
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like it's very contradicting. Like you're seeing again, like yeah, you're seeing players on the team say that yeah, something's brewing there, and the players are like, no, this is fine. Like that's not a great look,
and
honestly.
I'm gonna say this like multiple players on other teams who play with each other don't like each other. This isn't a new thing, but here's the thing: when you're winning games, I think that shit doesn't matter at that point. It's when you're losing where it gets amplified.
when you're like Vancouver and you are like teetering on a playoff
On
spot.
missing the playoffs. You're teetering on like missing the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, because Leblock, as of the recording of this podcast, they are in a wild card spot, but they have two teams that are literally a point behind them, and the team in the wild card too is tied with them. And they're only, I think if I read that right, they're 4 points behind the Kings for third in the Pacific. So, yeah, like really, they're like not playing as good as they should be. They need to improve, and seeing that, like seeing with how they've been, like it causes rifts between some players, and things like this really show when you're
Yeah,
losing.
and I get for the individuals themselves involved in this, they don't want to bring this out into the media, and I get that from a player's standpoint. At the same time, is when the organization is telling you, hey, you need to squash this now.
I wonder what it is. Like I wonder like really what is the argument here, because you're on a hockey team. It cannot be like that bad to where
I
it's
mean,
really affecting the job.
I've seen my team go through a similar situation where Hoffman and Carlson could not stand each other.
Okay, then one of them needs to leave.
Yes, and that's why you're seeing Miller and Pedersen trade rumors just like spiral out of control right now.
Yeah, it is. This is what happens when things like this somehow get out into the media. Like the media has eaten this alive. Like they have really like taken this and rode with it.
And even they're getting pissed off when asking about it. Like Pedersen last night, when asked about it, it's like there's nothing there, yada yada. And there's like, is it distracting? Like it's like oh, he's like like he's thrown out of his post game press conference last night because of the
Miller
questions.
Miller was also, well, they were both asked to speak last night, and Miller didn't speak, but Pedersen did. And as you said, Pedersen stormed out. So again, like the media love to spin this around and spin this into a story. And I think I'm gonna be honest, like I feel like they're blowing it
Out of
way
proportion.
out of proportion, like way out of
I
proportion.
do want to say though, in Vancouver you think Toronto is harsh. Vancouver, I know it's not under the big microscope, but the Vancouver local media is just ruthless. Like the Canucks have even called radio stations in the past saying, "Hey, could you like tone it down?" That's how
Yeah, yeah.
like Vancouver media is cutthroat. So I get and Miller not speaking last night. I kind of I think I know. I don't want to say I know like I know why, but like Miller had a play last night in overtime where he just didn't back check at all, and that ended up being the game winner in the game. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why he didn't want to go. But like even today, Miller's like, hey, I can go get Petey myself, and we can do the interview together right now.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
mean, again, like they may not show it like in the public, but again,
yeah,
behind closed doors, it's
yeah.
probably
I
going
don't
on.
want to speculate what it is, but it's probably a personal issue.
It has to be. Like I can't see what else it would be. Like I really can't think of anything else that would like be this insane. Like it has to be something personal between these two. Otherwise, they need to just put their differences aside, play as a team, play together, and just ride it out. Like again, we've seen these issues with Miller before, but I don't know.
You know,
So
Miller's kind of a moody player.
now I'm gonna ask you a question,
All right,
and this is gonna make people angry. But hypothetically, if either of these two were to move, which one do you think is most likely?
Miller,
Yeah, it's probably Miller.
because like you just signed Pedersen,
Yes.
but you and Pedersen is like I don't know. Pedersen is like way younger than Miller. I think he's got to be at least 6 years younger than Miller.
Yeah, so for context, Pedersen is 26 years old, Miller is 31. Yeah, they're 5 years apart. So definitely it'd be Miller moving on. But they're both on pretty hefty contracts. Like it won't be easy to move either of them,
Uh,
which is why it's not gonna happen. Like
and
I'm being honest.
like and the teams I've seen in conversation but in like rumors for good fits are teams I don't think either of them want to go to. It's Buffalo and Pittsburgh are the ones I've been circling around it.
I've also heard the Rangers too a couple of months ago with Miller.
Miller, yeah.
Again, I don't really think they'd be, or the Lightning. I don't think they'd be interested in going back to any of those teams.
It's all JT Miller's former teams.
It really is. It really is all of Miller's former places, and I don't think anything's going to come of it, to be honest. If something happens, it's going to be in the off season. I don't think
Yeah.
neither of these players are going anywhere mid-season. I don't.
Unless this escalates to like a thing where like you need to get them out like right now.
Yes, unless if it gets to that. But again,
Like I'm talking like Tony D'Angelo level, like bad.
yeah. Didn't they like place him on waivers?
Yeah,
Didn't they like?
because D'Angelo started a fight with Gorgiev after the game.
Kind of looking back on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it's like, why did you make a save? And then Gorgiev just punched him in the throat. Just punched him in the throat.
I mean, he doesn't make saves that much a couple years later. Anyway,
Still, it's just, you don't
it's still,
you don't razz the goalie after the game. You know?
I do remember that. That is kind of a dick thing to say, to be honest. Even if your goalie did like
Cost you
is
the
like
game, yeah.
yeah, it's one thing to make a joke about it, but right after the game, like I mean,
Like,
come on.
have you ever seen a goalie after a game when they played bad? They don't want to touch it anyway. They're fucking pissed.
Yeah, exactly, like 100%. So yeah, we'll see what amounts of this. I don't really think anything's gonna happen there. But if Vancouver really does start like going down in the standings, maybe we do see something happen. But I don't know. I wouldn't hold my breath, to be honest. And that is your news for this past week. LeBlanc, anything else that we missed that you want to talk about? Anything you want to add in?
Not really. I think we covered all the news.
Okay. All right, let's move into your Ottawa Senators, who before the podcast tonight I said may never lose again, and they lost. They lost 3-1 to the Edmonton Oilers after the recording of this podcast. And I'm gonna be honest, like yes, they lost, but there's a couple. First off, there's context to that, and I also do think that they are playing awesome right now, and I think that they were bound to lose.
Yeah, like all good things must come to an end. I do want to say that, of course, as soon as Biz Nasty wants to hop on the bandwagon, we start losing.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. That was funny. That
Um,
was.
my Tim sent that to me, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna lose. Like, oh,
Well, you saw Steve Pinto's going on his show, right? Does that mean you're going to listen to it?
yeah, I'll listen to it. But yeah. I honestly coming to the game today before I saw all that, I kind of said we're probably gonna lose this game because Edmonton is also on a heater right now.
Yeah, it's hard to go. It's also hard to go 3-0 on a road trip like that. It's pretty difficult to do. You're playing two of three like pretty good teams, and they already beat Vancouver. Did they play Calgary in this run?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they beat
did.
Calgary this time too.
It's weird.
So
Because they went Seattle to Calgary, back to Vancouver. Oh, excuse me, and then back
yeah,
to Edmonton. It was weird. So it's like 3 time changes.
yeah, and it's impressive that they went 3-1 on that road trip. But the road trip isn't over yet. They're going back to Ottawa for Christmas break, but then they're going to Winnipeg, Minnesota, probably Nashville. I gotta look. Or
Yeah,
Dallas, St. Louis.
Dallas, St. Louis, Nashville, and then Detroit, and then they go home.
Yeah, so it's not over yet. But I gotta say, like LeBlanc, they have been on an incredible run. It honestly, it doesn't just go over like this streak they've been on. It's the entire month of December. They have gotten points in all but 2 games in December. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's and especially in a very competitive like Eastern Conference playoff race, like those are points you need. And essentially they played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 22 points. You get a possible, I think that's 22. I think that's like 18 of 22 points, 17 of 22 points in that stretch. That's awesome. That's points you need. And again, LeBlanc, I don't think I've ever seen the Senators with this good of a record at this point in the season.
Yeah, it's new to me too. So it's new.
Yeah, 18, 14 and 2, 38 points. It's awesome. And I want to let you talk here, but I've really been going the last couple of minutes, but like yeah, like I really have loved how this team's been playing, and I've honestly been rooting for you guys. Like I'm going to be honest.
It's so like it started with the was it the Anaheim win or the Carolina win? I'm trying to think.
I would argue that Carolina win. The Anaheim win is, it's Anaheim.
Yeah, Carolina went on the road, shut them out. And then Carolina win on the road, awesome. Go back to Pittsburgh, go back to Ottawa to beat Pittsburgh in overtime. Beat Anaheim 5-1. Go on the road to Seattle, shut them out. It's Calgary beat them in overtime after a controversial call, and then go to Vancouver, and those are not easy environments to win in. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's great to see. Allmark's been on fire this entire stretch.
absolutely unbelievable. And then he got hurt.
He's one of the main reasons he got hurt tonight. Apparently Green said in the presser it was his back, it tightened up. So hopefully we get massage season on his back, and
Thankfully, this is the last game before the break,
yes,
so he gets some time to rest, and you're gonna know what his injury really is. And then once you get to the second half of that road trip, then he can really evaluate.
yes,
But again, I'm gonna say this: like, even like if we're talking like them making playoffs, they need as many points as they possibly can get. So they really need to go at least like 3-1 on these next 4 games on this road trip. At least 3-1, I would say. If you go 2-2, I'd be happy with it. Like again, they're playing really well right now, so I wouldn't complain. But yeah, I gotta say, like I think that they can probably get it done, but they need to win as much as they can. As
yeah.
much as
They need to keep pace. They need to. The Easter Conference playoff race is tight as it is right now. They need to just keep pace, keep on winning. They have games in hand on the guys below them and in front of them, so that's something to look at. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure you've said it before though that like if they come close to the playoffs and they miss, you will be happy.
yeah, I'm fine with that. But you love to make it, but if they get
Yeah,
there, if they come in ninth and miss by 1 point, I'm not going to be upset.
I think you will be happy because that's honestly progress. Now
It
hopefully
is.
you don't pull sabers and take a step back.
Yeah.
Is there anybody on Ottawa that like? Well, obviously Allmark, as we mentioned. Is there any other players in Ottawa who have played like really good down this stretch?
Pinto's come alive. He was having a rough go of it. He got injured and he had a rough go of it recently. Now I think he scored at least he scored. He had 2 goals in Vancouver. He had a goal in Calgary. He finally scored in Seattle. So yeah, he has 4 goals out of the last 5 games. So
3 goals and 4 points on this road trip.
yes, so
4 against Calgary.
yeah, so it's great to see Pinto. He was a guy we said in the summer that we said Pinto's probably gonna have a nice bounce back year.
Yeah, that's what we thought because down the stretch after the whole gambling thing, he actually was on like a really good pace.
Yeah,
So
and then Kachuk's been great for us. Shabbat and Jensen all year have been one of the best pairings in the NHL.
yeah, they have collectively like Shabata's a plus. I mean, plus minus is one thing, but they have a plus 14 and a plus 17. They have both been really good. What about Jake Sanderson? I've heard this year's been a little bit
Sanderson,
slower
so
for him.
Tonight Sanderson wasn't great. But like on the road trip, he's been decent. He hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been like great. But there's also the fact that Artem Zub has been out since November 16th.
Yes,
He's playing with Travis Hamonic, and like midway through the game tonight, he was playing with Shabbat. Like that's how dire it is on defense right now. I will say the defense core still is a work in progress,
they need another piece. I feel like.
which they're getting next season when Yakimchuk comes over.
You think Yakimchuk's going to come over that fast?
Yeah, well, he almost made the team out of camp this year.
He did. That's true, actually. Yeah, I think that Ottawa overall is in a really good spot. LeBlanc, ideally though, on this road trip, they have 5 more games left on the road. What do you think their record needs to be coming out of that?
I would like to see them with a you like to see them win them all, right? But like you realistically, your goal. This is probably the toughest stretch you're going to have this season. You got Winnipeg, first in the league, first in the West. You have Minnesota, second in the West. You have Dallas, no joke. You have St. Louis, who's playing better recently, and then you have Detroit. So
Yeah, it definitely that like Western Coast road trip, like it's going to be a struggle. Then things get easier because then you have Detroit, Buffalo, and then Pittsburgh. Like those are 3 winnable games right
yeah,
there.
so like I would like to see them on this 5 game stretch. I would like to see at least at the latest like 2-2-1.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Okay. Let's transition from the Ottawa Senators. Unless you have anything else.
Yeah, you want to say like
Sorry.
going to those margins isn't easy. So if you get like if you lose the next two games to Minnesota and Winnipeg, that's not a big deal. It's the three down the stretch that are the big deal.
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. Let's transition from Ottawa, which is a team that is trending up. I would argue they're one of the teams that is trending up the most for us. Let's talk about some teams that are trending up and trending down currently. Starting off with trending up, the Florida Panthers 4-0 this week. They have been
Yeah,
awesome. They beat Edmonton, one of the teams that again you guys lost to, and Florida beat them. They beat Tampa in the Battle of Florida. They scored two shorthanded goals in 42 seconds this past week in
Jesus.
that game. It's pretty wild. Shout out that Leafs fan. That's how I know. So yeah, 4-0 this week. They've been awesome. Another team for me, Montreal, 3
Yeah,
and 0.
I was gonna say Montreal. Montreal is my team that's trending up. They're looking really good since Line came back.
Yeah, Patrick Laine. Did you know? I need to look at this to confirm this real quick. Did you know that every single goal that Laine has scored this season has been
Power
on the
play.
power play?
Yeah, I did know. I
That's,
I, I told my buddy like he's such a power play merchant. Like he's such a power.
I wonder what the stat is for like the most goals scored on a power play ever in the history or like on the power play, not in a power play, on the power play ever in NHL history
That I
in season.
think you in season. There was a thing. I think honestly, Line might be leading the NHL in power play goals this year.
Hang on a second, I can confirm that in a second as I plug in my computer. Um, so what did you say? Power play goals. He's like tied for second.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
feel like he's going to be leading the league in power play goals this season though, if he doesn't get hurt again.
Yeah, yeah, he's tied for second in power play goals in 9 games played. That's pretty unreal. And he looks like Ovechkin too. Like I don't want to like pour down on Line and hate him, but like he kind of is looking a lot like
Yeah,
Ovechkin. Like
he's really taking his role in that offense. Like you have Caulfield on one side, but then you have Liney on the next line, who's
yeah,
so
so
you have like double trouble there. So
yeah,
Montreal is still ways away from the playoffs,
100%.
but like right now, if I go to the wild card, yeah, they're still
They
7 points out.
they are above some teams that we didn't think they'd be above over
They
right now.
are.
Which I guess is a good transition into those two teams. Let's start off with Detroit, who are definitely trending down. They had a good bounce back win against the Flyers, and then they lost back to back to Montreal.
Ruined both my parlays. Not too happy with that.
Yeah, not ideal. Yeah, Detroit just seems to have fizzled off. Honestly, sometimes they'll look good and get some wins, but I think really they need to fire Derek Lalonde, and I just don't think it's going to happen. Like
I
I don't think
feel
it's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna happen in January. Like there's no way they're gonna continue this slide.
Yeah, there's no way. And what's wild, and again, I've said this so many times. I said it in like early December, late November. I said like they are so lucky to be like 2 or 3 games below 500 because they have some of the worst underlying numbers in the entire NHL, and they still do. Like they have scored the fourth least amount of goals of any team in the entire National Hockey League. That's like insane for a team that is trying to contend. It's not good enough.
Hmm. Um, I don't want to say they're trending down, but they've been down.
They're like trending. They're like they in the board. They have like hit the bottom of.
Hmm.
They've hit the bottom of the trending down board. If you're
Yeah.
going
So
where I'm going right now.
well, off the board, like way off the board, we got Buffalo, who still has not won a game.
Yeah, still has not won a game. They have not won a game since November 23rd. It's been brutal. And like I want to say this, and I'm pretty sure I said this in our last podcast when I talked about the Sabres.
Yeah.
They're playing a lot of good teams. That's the problem. They're playing a lot of good teams who are above the playoff line or teams who are just better than them. But there are some teams that they're playing who they should be beating. Like they should beat Montreal. Come on. Really? You should 100% beat Montreal. And after that Leafs loss, you see Pagula come into Montreal and say, "Yeah, no changes are going to be made. We believe in this room." Do you agree with that? Because I don't.
I know.
I don't agree with that at all. I don't get it. Yeah, we'll move on from Buffalo. Another team that is trending down is the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
0-3 this past week. They're on a big slump. Lost
Oh,
4 in a
0
row.
0-4, yeah.
Yeah, they got blown out by Winnipeg on Saturday. That was not fun. It's brutal right now in Minnesota. I don't know what it is. I think it might just be because they might be tired. Honestly, I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Fatigue.
That might be what it is. Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Another team trending down is Seattle. They've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, 0-4 this past week, lost 5 straight. Not ideal. Again, as I said, like Seattle, if they wanted to get into the playoff race, they were going to need to have a good start. And so far this year, it just hasn't been that. Teams trending up again, Edmonton, as we said, and the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
So just some loves to those two teams as well. Looking at the Metro, the Rangers, I would argue, are still trending down. I would argue they're 1-2 this past week, still losing games.
Yeah.
There's really no other team that every team in the Metro is kind of like meh right now. They're kind of like going straight. Besides, I guess New York. But yeah, those are the teams that we have going up and down right now. LeBlanc, I don't know if you have any more.
I can't really think of any right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Dallas has been kind of
Shaky.
teetering a little bit. Yeah, they've been a little shaky. Winnipeg has kind of trended up a little bit. Nashville's been getting better. They're 2-1 this past week.
They
So
are,
that's
yes. They have been getting better.
They're starting to win games. The next thing we have on our agenda here is we're going to do our Christmas award predictions. So we're basically at almost the halfway mark of this season, and we thought it'd be a good idea to do like an updated award prediction. So LeBlanc, you have our awards pulled up, right?
I do. I have our awards. We published this on October 11th.
So the 8 awards that we're going to go through are the Calder, the Norris, the Vezina, the Hart, the Jack Adams, the Art Ross, the Rocket, and the Selke. So, you ready, LeBlanc? Do you want to include like honorable mentions?
We can include honorable mentions. Yeah, we'll do one HM if it tickles your fancy. So
Okay. All right. Let's start off with the Calder Trophy.
I think it's Mitchkov. I think it's Mitchkov. I think I'm gonna give a shout out to Celebrini. He's making it real. He's making it closer than it has to be though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Mitchkov as well. I mean, I'm gonna throw just because you didn't. I'm gonna throw an honorable mention to Lane Hudson, who picked up his first NHL goal recently. I feel like he has been racking up assists for Montreal. Even though like you look at it, it's like 1 goal, 23 assists or something like that. Like I still think it's good for a defenseman like that to be racking up numbers. It's good. I think it's still good for sure. Definitely an honorable mention for me. It's impressive what he's doing, and hopefully that guy on TikTok doesn't get mad at me. All right, next up, Norris Trophy.
Quinn Hughes.
I'm also going Quinn Hughes. Honorable mention though.
To Makar. I don't really have an honorable mention. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go Makar as well. I think Makar definitely should be an honorable mention. Quinn Hughes, like 2 straight Norrises, if he can pull this off, that's pretty impressive. Vezina Trophy up next. I'm gonna go with. I don't know. Like I feel like it's kind of close. It's kind of not. Like I feel like there's a few goalies you could go with.
That's not. I'm gonna go with Connor Hellebuck. Honorable mention probably goes to Igor.
I'm gonna go Philip Gustafson.
Okay.
I think he has been like he has really performed better than expected this year, and has been a big part of why the Wild have been good. Honorable mention though to Hellebuck for sure is my other guy that I'm gonna go with. So you give an honorable mention to Shesterkin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's save the Hart for last. Let's do Jack Adams up next.
Jack Adams.
I know who I'm going with.
Do you give it out to John Hines?
Spencer Carberry.
Carberry, yeah. Yeah, I'll go Carberry. Yeah, I'll go Carberry with you as well.
What about
I
honorable mention Hines?
I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Keldon Keith actually.
Ooh, yeah. Keith probably, yes. Keith might even be the one that ends up damn winning the thing, to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you. I'll give a shout out to John Hines, who I think has been great this year for the Wild and how they've been. Art Ross Trophy.
Art Ross Trophy. I'm just pulling out who is so leading right now in points. You have Nathan McKinnon. I'm gonna give the Art Ross to his teammate actually, Mikko Rantanen.
Okay. I guess like the honorable mention would be like who comes in second. So I'm gonna go McKinnon though. I'm sticking with with the Nate dog.
Okay.
Who would be your second place?
Draisaitl.
Draisaitl. Okay, I'm gonna go Draisaitl as well. After that, then we have the Rocket. Currently, the Rocket leader is Draisaitl with 24.
I think Kaprizov's gonna catch him.
Okay, all right. I think we went. I think one of us went with Kaprizov in the our early reward prediction.
When we're all done, I'll tell you our award predictions from October, so then we can react to them.
Okay. Um, for me, Nylander is 23 goals. Wow. I'm gonna go Sam Reinhart. Reinhart's still scoring at a really good level. He's only 2 goals back of Draisaitl, so I'm gonna go with Sam Reinhart. Honorable mention will be Kaprizov for me though.
Okay.
Who are you going with then?
My honorable mention is gonna be Sam Reinhart.
Okay. And then we have the Selke Trophy. Selke, I don't really know to be honest with you.
Selke, honestly, whoever they say is in talks with the Selke, I go with them.
I'm gonna go for fun, Alexander Barkov.
I'm gonna follow you on. Leapfrog you on that too.
For
Barkov.
honorable mention,
I'm gonna say Marner.
yeah, I'll go with Marner as well. I think that's fair. We have a lot of the same. And then finally, our heart pick.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it's Draisaitl.
All right. I am going with openly Kirill Kaprizov. Draisaitl is my honorable mention, though.
I'll make Kaprizov my honorable mention.
Okay, so we're pretty much the same on all of our predictions.
So, are you ready to hear what your predictions were in October?
I am.
All right, I'm gonna come back to frame here. Take a little bit of walk. Nordic, your heart winner was McKinnon.
Okay.
Your Norris winner was Adam Fox.
Oh. Okay.
Your Calder winner was Mitchkov.
Okay.
Selke was Barkov.
Okay. Still on.
Your Rocket was Kaprizov.
Okay.
Your Vesna was Hellebuck. Your Jack Adams was Andrew Brunette. That's not looking so hot right now. I
That
know.
looks horrible right now. That's
Yeah.
probably the worst one of all of them, to be honest.
And then
The other ones are like, all right, but that one's probably the
yeah,
worst.
Art Ross, Kucherov.
Okay. That's still
Honestly, a solid 7 out of 8. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, that's not out of the question.
Let's
Kucherov right there.
get to mine. My heart winner was Jack Hughes.
Yeah, it can still happen.
Yeah. My Norris, I picked Evan Bouchard. I even put money on Evan Bouchard to win the Norris. Believe it or not. It, it,
Uh,
it was a bonus bet. It was a bonus bet. We good.
okay.
Calder, I had Mishkov.
All right.
Selke, I had Matthews.
That can still happen too.
Yeah. Rocket, I also had Kaprizov.
Yeah, so you have the same one. You stayed the
Yeah.
same.
My Vesna's Joey Decord. Hey,
The
I
Kraken got
mean,
better.
the Kraken were better than maybe, but like I knew I was swinging for the fences with that one, but like my head coach, my Jack Adams, Travis Green.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not out of the question.
No, it's not. If the Sens make the playoffs, it's a big possibility.
My Art Ross is Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, that's also possible. So yeah, I think we did all right. I'll read through like our current ones now that you just went through our ones from October. Start off with LeBlock. He has Mitchkov winning Calder. Norris Trophy, he has Quinn Hughes. Vezina, he has Hellebuck. Hart, he has Draisaitl. Jack Adams, he has Carberry. Art Ross, Rantanen, Rocket, Kaprizov, and then Selke, Barkov. For me, Calder, Mitchkov, Norris, Quinn Hughes, Vezina, Gustafson, Hart, Kirill Kaprizov, Jack Adams, Spencer Carberry, Art Ross, Nathan McKinnon, Rocket, Sam Reinhart, and then Selke, Alexander Barkov. So that is our list for our quarter of the season awards. LeBlanc, any changes you want to make to that?
I'm gonna go and put Keith over Carberry.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we'll just swap them out.
All right. Put Carberry in our mentions.
Just to be different.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, one last thing here before we wrap up and let you guys go enjoy your Christmas. We have to talk about the World Juniors. The World Juniors preview. By the time we do our next episode, which will probably be our last episode of 2024, the World Juniors will be already a few games underway. So it's good to kind of make a little bit of an episode here, kind of previewing the World Juniors and our predictions and who we think is going to win. So, LeBlanc, if you want to start by looking at the teams.
Yes.
I don't know what team you want to start off with here. You want to start off with Canada, U.S., Sweden?
I'm getting the link up I'm just putting the link right now.
Okay, let me pull up the link as well.
Right. Let's start with the host country, Canada.
Yeah. By the way, aren't you going to some of these games?
I will be going to the gold medal game.
Ooh.
So.
Are you going to any ones or no?
What?
Are you going to any other ones or no?
No, I couldn't get tickets to the other ones. I was on wait list for a lot of them.
Well, you're going to the best one, so.
But yeah, and I got this one for free. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's a.
I'm in a suite for it. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be sweet. But,
sweet.
Yeah. Basically, so my mom for her work got tickets.
Yeah.
And then she got two only, so it was me and my mom. And then I bought for Christmas. I got Dylan 2 tickets to the World Juniors in standing room.
Oh, that's good.
So like he really wanted to go, so he's going.
That's awesome. All right. Let's start looking at Team Canada's roster. We already went through. I think we already kind of talked about the roster, but we'll go over it again since this is like our official World Juniors preview.
So, Canada forwards, McKenna, Gavin McKenna, Bradley Nadeau, he's currently with Chicago the AHL. I have no idea who their affiliate of now.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Jet Luchenko, Philadelphia Flyers prospect. Luca Pinelli, Columbus prospect. Berkeley Cadden, Seattle prospect. Carson Remkoff,
Seattle.
Ethan Gauthier, I could not tell you. I'm just going.
Ethan Gauthier is Tampa.
Damn, all right, I'm just like Callum Ritchie. I'm pretty sure he is Colorado.
Yes.
Porter Martone, I will say this with confidence, the projected number 1 pick.
Yeah, I think
as of now.
Next episode, we're gonna do our mock draft.
Probably probably next episode.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Tanner Howe is a Penguins, yes. Cole Beaudoin, like how you doing?
Is a Utah prospect.
Utah prospect, and he's actually a hometown boy.
Yeah, from Ottawa.
Yep. Easton Cowan, Toronto prospect. Matthew Cataford.
Cataford is Vegas.
Gibson, he was a Detroit prospect, but he got traded to Nashville.
Yeah, we're going through the defense now.
Yes. Sam Dickinson, arguably, I would think one of the most dynamic defensemen in the entire tournament.
I would say, the second best defenseman second best defensive prospect in the NHL right now, behind ASP.
Yeah. San Jose prospect. Caden Price.
Price is Seattle.
Bonk, Flyers prospect, also another hometown boy.
Mm-hmm.
Molendyke is a Predators prospect. Sawyer Manino,
Vancouver,
Bo Akey,
Edmonton.
and then Matthew Schaefer is a draft eligible player in this upcoming draft. With the
Arguably the best defenseman
yeah,
coming up in the draft.
and then the goalies we have Jack Ivankovic.
2025 prospect, I
Yep.
believe.
Yeah, Carter George, LA, and then Carson Bjarnson.
Philadelphia. So yeah, I think that this is a very good team, but I will say this: they are missing some players that I would have on this roster. We've talked about them the last couple of episodes, but again, I think it's a good team.
Mm-hmm.
You want to move into the USA now?
USA. We'll probably only go over the big four teams. I don't think we're going to go over any of the. Or do you want to go over the other teams?
Let's add Czechia in there because Czechia
Okay.
always feels disrespected.
All right.
All right.
USA. Teddy Stiga, Nashville prospect. Brandon Sabota.
San Jose.
Ryan Leonard, Capitals. Kerry Terrence.
Anaheim.
Oliver Moore, Chicago. James Hagens, draft eligible this upcoming year. Danny Nilsson.
Islanders.
I figured that was an Islanders prospect. Trevor Connolly, Vegas. Joe Willis.
Joe Willis is Nashville. He just scored his first NHL goal the other day.
Nice. Max Plant, Detroit. Austin Bernovic.
Bernovic is Anaheim.
Gabe Perreault, Rangers. Cole Eiserman, Islanders. Brody Zimmer. Is that Minnesota? Buffalo? Okay. Logan Hensler, draft eligible this upcoming draft. Drew Fortescue. I'm not good with names.
Fortesque.
Fortesque.
New York Rangers.
Adam Kleber.
Kleber is. Why don't I see him on here?
Kleber.
Paul Fisher, Hensler, Hudson, Neenan, Raff. Is he a forward or a defenseman?
He's a defenseman.
Hang on a second. He's not on my thing here. Oh, yeah, Adam Kleber. Yeah, he's not on the... What the hell? He's not on the roster that I'm looking at. Adam Kleber is a prospect for...
I think he may be draft eligible.
It'll load. Yeah, Sabres.
Sabres. Aram Mitonen.
Mitonen is Dallas.
And Paul Fisher.
Fisher is Edmonton.
Cole Hudson is Washington. And Z Bunum, arguably, once again, just like Dickinson, one of the better defensemen in the draft,
Probably
in the tournament, is Minnesota. Then their goalies, like Troy Augustine, Michigan State University, and Detroit.
Hampton
Sloninsky,
yeah. LA, and then Sam Hillebrand, who's not signed to a team. And is not a draft eligible prospect, I don't think either. Might be wrong though, let me look.
Play that man!
Yeah, what the hell? Why isn't he on a team? He is currently on the Barrie Colts. No, he's not drafted. He is also he would have been eligible 2 years ago.
He'll probably re-enter the draft.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. He's at 05. Yeah, I think that
strong roster.
Yeah. I would agree. I think that it's not as strong as it was last year. Like, I don't think this team is going to win the tournament, but again, it's still a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go on to say the same group, Finland.
Yeah. Let's move on to Finland up next.
Yeah. Well, we should probably tell the viewers the groups this year.
Yeah, I guess we should. Let me pull those up real quick.
Well, I have them up there. I will tell them when we're done with Czechia. So, Finland. Once again, if you are Finnish, my apologies. I am not good at pronouncing names. Jesse Kiskinen.
Kiskinen, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he is Edmonton. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find my stats here for it. I had a thing pulled up that was of it a bit ago. Continue.
Jonah Serlainen.
All right.
Emil Hemming is a Dallas prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Tumas Euronen. Benjamin Tienen. Rasmus Klumpulainen.
Rasmus Kumpulainen is a Minnesota prospect. I have my
Yes.
list pulled up now.
Consta Hellenius is a Buffalo prospect.
Yes.
Tom Leppa.
Leppa is a prospect for this year's draft.
Okay. Topias Heinonen.
Is also a prospect for this coming draft.
Rupe Vesterainen.
Vesterainen. I'm trying to find him.
Vesterainen, sorry.
Why can't I find this guy on my list?
You, Jesse Nurmi.
Jesse Nurmi is, I think, yeah, Nurmi is Islanders.
Julius Mintonen.
Mintonen, Seattle.
Helki Ruhonen.
Oh my God. Yeah, Ruhonen. Philadelphia, Philly, actually. Oh, okay.
Yeah. R2 I can't say that name. I'm sorry. I can't say that name.
R2 Alasarua.
Yeah, Alasaru.
Draft.
Mida Jokinen on defense now. We're on defense now.
Mida Jokinen is
There's a J in there, so I think it's silent.
2025 prospect.
Kale Kangas.
Kale Kangas is Pittsburgh.
Aaron Kiviharju, he's a Minnesota prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Sony.
Sony is Minnesota as well.
Daniel Nemainen.
You were pissing off.
I know. Nemainen. I apologize for my poor pronunciation.
The minimum is Winnipeg.
It's like saying Nenenemy. Anemone.
And then I'm in.
Emil Pineniemi. There we go.
Pineniemi is Pittsburgh.
There we go. R2 Tukala.
R2 Tukala is a prospect for this year's draft.
VD, there's so many. Vasainen.
Oh, I'm looking at another VD.
Vasainen. Yes, Vasainen, sorry.
He's not on my list. Okay. Keep going.
Goaltenders. Kim Sarainen.
Seattle.
Peter Rimpinen.
New Jersey.
Noah Valley.
Seattle as well.
All right. Obviously, Finland is always a team where it's like the roster it's not that familiar with, but it's always a team that surprises us at the World Juniors.
Yeah, it always is.
There's been years where Finland has just randomly been in the final.
Yeah, I'm not putting it past them. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping on Finland because the Finns. I always say this: the Finns are probably out of the big four teams. The Finns are probably always the weakest of the big four, but they always produce solid NHLers and they always surprise us with their young talent.
Yep.
Go to the other group now. So just for reference here, Group A in this year's World Juniors is Finland, Canada, Germany, the United States, and Latvia.
Yep, they're in the same. U.S. is in the same group.
That's gonna be weird.
That will be weird. I agree.
Yeah. Group B is Czechia, Slovakia, Sweden, Switzerland, Kazakhstan. Now we're gonna go through Sweden.
Sweden and Czechia, and then we'll wrap up. All right, I'm ready.
I'm trying to click on it. It's loading.
I am prepared.
Today's Nordic Leblock pod is brought to you by no one.
Yeah, nobody.
Sweden, Zeb Forsfalja.
The way you said it, I couldn't tell. It's Zeb Forsjal.
Yeah, Force.
Holy crap, we are insulting so many people.
Isaac Hedquist.
Isaac Hedquist is. Why isn't he on my thing? He is nobody. Not signed.
Linus Eriksson.
Linus Eriksson is Florida.
David Edstrom. I'm pretty sure he's a Sharks prospect.
He is Nashville. He was in the Askarov trade.
Oh, poor guy. He got traded from Vegas to Sharks to Nashville. There we go.
Yep.
Felix Unger Sorum.
Unger Sorum is Carolina.
Felix Nilsson.
Felix Nilsson is Nashville.
Victor Eklund is a draft-eligible prospect this upcoming draft.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to him.
Yes, I am. Dennis Altorn.
Altorn is a nobody.
Herman Taff. Traff.
Herman Traff is New Jersey.
Herman Traff sounds like a hard album.
It does.
Anton Wahlberg.
Wahlberg is Buffalo.
Otto Stenberg.
Stenberg is St. Louis.
Yes. Jack Berglund.
Philadelphia.
David Granberg.
Granberg is nobody.
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
Oscar Voulette.
Voulette is Carolina as well.
On the defense, Rasmus Bergquist.
Montreal.
Axel Sandin Pelika. Detroit.
Yep.
Wilhelm Hauquist.
He's not on a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Axel Herdig.
Herdig is Calgary.
Viggo Gustafsson.
Nashville.
Theo Lindstein.
St. Louis.
Tom Willander is Vancouver.
Yep, Vancouver.
The goalies, Marcus Gidolf.
Yeah, Islanders.
Melvin Strahl.
Yeah, Columbus.
Melker Phelan.
Utah.
Okay. Once again, a stronger roster than Finland, but still, I wouldn't say they're up to snuff with the Canadians and the Americans.
Yes.
But Finland, but Sweden, like it was a big deal for like over 15 years until last year, where they didn't lose a group stage game.
Yeah.
For like 15 years, and that's still, for me, that was still like, that's got to be fake. I was always like, that's got to be.
That's like an insane streak.
It's an insane streak, yeah. We can the States program. And Czechia for a final one. Adam Dzeko.
Dzeko, oh my god, what team is he? Because now, like, I don't have the official thing pulled up.
Playing in the WHL for Edmonton right now.
I think he might be. Hang on a second. I'm pretty sure he is. Pretty sure he's a Columbus prospect.
Pavel Simic.
Yeah. Yeah, keep going.
Pavel Simic.
Simic, okay.
Edward Sale is a Seattle prospect, or however you say his last name. I'm not sure how to say his last name.
Yes,
Saleh. Adam Zidlicki.
That's an interesting name.
Wojciech Sakar.
Wow, we are like really offending a lot of people here.
Richard Zemlicka. Peter Sikora.
Rangers.
It's not that Sikora. It's not spelled the same way.
Oh, this Sakura.
Like Sikora.
Oh, Sika. Oh, and even Peter Sakura is literally a Capitals prospect, not a Rangers prospect. This Sakura is. Are you sure?
Yep, positive.
It says he's all right. Anyways, just continue. The
Uh,
Sakura I found has played over 1,000 games in the NHL, and it's definitely not that guy.
Mate Mastrorisky.
All right.
Andre Koz.
Okay.
Dominic Peter.
All right.
Jakub Stankel.
Yeah.
Wojciech Haradek.
Yeah.
Adam Novotny.
Yes.
Yuri Folksman. Excuse my language.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Miroslav Holinka.
Mm-hmm.
Votek Port. We're on the defense now. Marek
All right.
Rokak. Adam Juracek is a St. Louis prospect.
Yep. I almost said Columbus.
Jakub Dvorak.
Keep going.
Dvorak, excuse
Yeah,
me.
Kovac.
Jakub Fibber, excuse me. Patrick Volas, Votek Huseinecki, Thomas Galvez, and Mateo Kuhi. I'm gonna goaltenders Jan Caven, Jakub Milata, and Michael Hrabel.
Michael Horabel is a Utah prospect.
Yes.
That's all I can tell you.
Again,
Yeah, we'll see how they do. They're always competitive. They got
another like Finland, they always somehow surprise.
yes.
Yes.
All right. Your predictions for the World Juniors. Your
I
bronze, your silver, and your gold.
I am going to be biased because we're the home country and I'm gonna be there. So, um,
Canada bronze. That's what you're
uh,
saying?
I'm gonna go Canada gold. I'm gonna go United States silver, and I'm gonna give
That's not possible, right?
it is because remember they cross play.
Oh, it's reseeding?
Yeah, it's reseeding.
Oh, okay.
So like group A1 will play group B4.
Okay, in that case, then I'm gonna have to change mine. Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna go gold Canada, silver the United States, and then I'm gonna give Finland the bronze.
Okay. I'm gonna go Sweden bronze, USA silver, and then Canada gold.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think Sweden will take bronze, but I just want to be different. I just want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine with me. Okay. Well, that will conclude this episode of the Nordic Block podcast. A very long Nordic Block podcast episode.
My
LeBlanc, any
bad.
final thoughts? Merry Christmas.
No. Merry Christmas. Happy
Happy
holidays. Do you have any Christmas memories for hockey that you associate with?
Christmas hockey memories,
Yeah.
like things that I've gotten for Christmas.
Yeah, or just experiences. I know. So for me and Dylan, because every December 23rd, the Sens would play a game at home. Not this year though, because they were every year. Cause usually we work. We always would be off the 23rd. We always used to work Christmas Eve, so we'd always go to the game on the 23rd. Just like chill out. Like me and my brother we don't talk that much. We don't really see each other that
Yeah.
much. So we go to the game. We would I wouldn't say we would get pissed drunk, but we would have some stuff to drink, and we would just like catch up with old friends, see old people, go out to the bars after, and then go to work the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we were
My
used to.
usual that I do.
Yeah, and then when our kids, Christmas Day, we would go out skating. So
My usual thing that I'll do is watch the World Juniors after and
yeah,
sleep.
I mean, that's all. Bonker's like, hey, no, it's on. I don't want anyone. No, don't say anything about no fake. We're gonna watch the World Juniors. Yes, we are. I'm serious on this. No, I'm not going to your mother's. No, I'm not doing that.
Yep.
No, that's always my dad.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll conclude this episode of the Nordic Blog Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Happy holidays from us.
Happy
If you
holidays.
enjoyed it, please be sure to subscribe on the YouTube end of things. Give us a good review. Tell your friends. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. If you want to follow the NORD Block Pod Instagram, follow at NORD Block Pod. If you want to follow the NORD Block Pod Twitter, at NORD Block Pod. I'm NORD, that's Block. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Feliz Navidad. Now.
I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Man, I just do what I do. To know about you, I just do what I do. Check. That's the intro. See that? Yeah. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Yo, check. Let me flip this script. I feel privileged for all who can witness this. I am close to divine. Know the moment is mine, need an omen or sign. I sprint. Providing a back sound to all the squares that ask around. Be getting it. My skills pay me. Trying to get a million, baby, with an adopted flow that God gave me. Me now. Tell whoever runners that they spot is temporary till I take it as mine. I'm selfish. Your will. Tell Miss I'm on my wealth tip. So when we cash out soon, I'm just investing. Hey, no yes men. I've been a legend since before mom and dad had me and was best friends. I chew through comp, don't test them. I chew on tracks, cause after that I bless them. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't know about you. I just do what I do. Check. I just do what I do.